the quickest way to respond to any disappointment where you weren't in the receivership of your good is the quickest way for you to manifest your good. Recently, I went for a job interview, and it was a wonderful job that had been recommended by a dear friend of mine here in Australia, and I put in a considerable amount of work, a lot of preparation for the interview, making sure that I was going to answer the questions correctly. I understood about the company and the policies and the procedures. I had practiced a lot. I had to do a typing test and do a cognitive test, a lot to prepare in 3 weeks. And I dedicated myself to this task. And the interview was last week on the Tuesday. And when I showed up, I was given some clear instructions to do with 2 parts of the interview. One was a typing test, which I passed with flying colors. And then the next one was a minute test where I had to record a certain amount of information in a very short period of time. And unfortunately, I didn't collect $200 on the Monopoly board and pass go. No, I didn't actually remember what I was meant to remember, though I wasn't sure what I was meant to remember because I'd never been trained on what to remember. But within a minute, I was released. And I have to say, in that moment, I felt the punch. I felt the kick in the gut because I had spent an extraordinary amount of time preparing. But I, thank goodness, am a product of my product, and I was able to bounce back really quickly. And so I was able to quickly, pick myself up and dust myself off and get back in the driver's seat. And I want to share with you some of the things I did that I know are going to help you, remain in a very powerful place. But before I get going with what I exactly did, welcome to all those who are new to my channel. It's very lovely to have you here. I'm so grateful to all my loyal subscribers. This one today is, a rather humbling conversation with you, but I can't keep it to myself. I really must share it with you because you too might be going through this right now. So the moment I heard the news, I revised on the spot. That's right. Before I received the news, all I kept saying is, nope, there's nothing but God. This or something better. And I was praying, practicing the presence of God as I was waiting for the results. And I kept saying, God, bless it or allow it. This or something better. And when I heard the news, initially it hit me because that was my old self-image coming through. But then, because I've done all the self-concept work, and if you want to in any way change your self-concept, your image, there's a course below. I highly recommend you do it because I use my teachings to remember who I truly am. And of course, I quickly was able to have pop up like toast from a toaster, beautiful sayings about myself that brace me for the disappointing news. If you want to call it disappointing, because I was relieved actually, because all that popped up was, Tanya, you're the best of the best. Actually, you deserve better than this. I mean, my goodness. No one compares to you. No one is like you. I mean, everybody wants to work with me. Oh, well, too bad, too sad. You miss out. Next. And these were the sort of things that quickly came to mind as I left the building where I was meant to attend the interview. And I noticed that the disappointment didn't last long. It was actually relief, because I realized that I can revise that situation if I want that position, and actually revise that I did hear that I'm in. I moved to the next stage of the interview. Or I can just revise that, oh, this wasn't meant for now, or oh, this isn't meant for me. This is something even better's on its way. So can you see how no circumstance, disappointing circumstance, can ever hold you hostage? Ever. Because there's so much good in the world, and God is good. And of course, there is only God. And of course, you just have to continually, right, not accept what I say, the unacceptable, right? You have in that moment the opportunity to detach, and the old image came through. Oh, this is terrible. What's wrong with me? I did all this work. I could have gone into the victim rabbit hole, but I said, no, I'm not doing that to myself. I love myself too much to go down that rabbit hole. Okay. Oh, well, your loss. So I do believe the self-image work, if you do this on a daily basis, I promise you this, it pays huge dividends when you most need it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm doing my self-image script, the one I offered to teach you, right? I do that on a daily basis, because remember, the old self-image is still there, and you cannot outperform it. And that old image, oh, she showed up, but not for long. Oh, not for long. I got rid of her, and I went, not today, see you later, bye. This is the new me, and moved on. And so that's my video for all of you today, to help you keep going with any disappointment that goes on. Just remember, there's so much abundance in the world that it is your divine right to be rich, happy, and successful. And the sooner you can bounce back from disappointments, the quicker you are going to manifest what you would love. But you see, if I had gone down the rabbit hole on that day, oh, this is terrible, oh my God, what am I going to do next? If I'd gone to that rabbit hole, then I'm not going to be in the receivership of my good coming to me, because I'm too busy fighting a reality that I don't want to belong to anymore. I'm done with that, right? No, I moved from the basement to the penthouse, and I've got a video on that. Go and watch that. Are you living in the basement, or are you living in the penthouse? And so I was able to move to the penthouse, and so can you, right? Because the outside is really just a reflection of old beliefs that have manifested. But if you want to live a phenomenal future, you have to take charge of your present moment and start to create it the way you would want it to be. And you do that by managing disappointments in a number of ways. And I've just outlined to you revision, having your self-image, your self-concepts pop up, trusting that, God is for goodness, that, right, there is nothing but God, only good can come to you. And when you get into the habit of doing this day in, day out, won't be long, your good will be on its way to you as well. All right, my loves, that's it for me today. I'm so grateful for your company, and I'll be back. I look forward to having another conversation with you shortly.